Hey everybody, welcome back to Offbeat LP. This is Hillary, and we're playing Gabriel Knight Sins of the Father. I have not recorded this in a while, so I might need to catch up a little bit, but I think we're good for now for Detective Mosley's office. I think we have everything we need because we got able to. Well, we got pictures from him. We were also able to copy some of these etchings we weren't supposed to copy from before. We were able to be sneaky. So, we're going to head out. We're going to go back to the Dixieland drugstore, actually, because we were supposed to look at something we didn't.
I'll be seeing you.
Ciao, baby.
Controls again. Okay. Dixieland drugstore. So we already got Cabri Sancourt from this fellow.
Uh-huh.
We're supposed to get one other prompt.
The poster reads, "Power will be yours when you use Papa Legba's power drawing incense and master power oil. Buy some today."
That's not it.
The sign says, "Special Saint Jean Eve, Lagnape, free bottle of lover come back to me oil, or master gambling oil, with every purchase over $50.
Lagniappe. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
Alright. Let's see if we can get a different response to this
Can
guy.
I ask you just a few more questions?
Whatever, man.
I just want to see what he says if we ask him about St. John's Eve.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year in voodoo.
What goes on exactly?
I couldn't say.
Did we ask him about himself?
Tell me about yourself. How did you get into this kind of business?
Why should I discuss my business with you, man?
Fair enough. Alright. I think that's all we have to do for today. You know, the day within the game. Am I wrong? Did I miss something? Back to the bookshop.
Phew, it's humid out there. Made it back though.
I wish you wouldn't wear that coat outside in June. I could smell you from here.
Let's see if we got any messages from Grace or anything we can follow up on. Because if the day isn't ending, then maybe we should go back to the police station.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
There's one other trick we can play on Mosley.
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. None right now.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
Yeah, check out Molly Getty, you might as well.
Could you see what you can find out about a woman named Malia Getty?
The name Getty sounds familiar. What's your interest in her?
Oh, just, stuff about the voodoo murders. If you could get an address...
They're murders. Right. I'll see what I can find out. Anything else?
Oh, good, okay. We were supposed to
I
do
can't think of anything.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. She wouldn't know anything about
What
St.
can you
John's
tell
Eve,
me
though.
about St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve? Never heard of it. It must be a local custom. New Orleans love any excuse to celebrate. Well, it's about closing time.
So it is. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gabriel. And try not to dream, okay?
I love that skirt of hers. It's very much a 90s fashion thing. Okay, so I think that, yes, it's the end of the day. Okay, cool. What a beautiful street scene. Like, even pixelated, that's really nice. That was really high-tech 3D in the 90s, right there. I think we get more of the dream every night, if I recall. I guess we'll find out. Day 2. A mask I wore as I approached, I was what I am not, and though the pattern wasn't clear, its meaning could be bought.
Good morning. Don't you look swell today? Actually, swollen.
Oh,
So have some. There's a fresh pot on the table. Seriously, you look like hell. Your hair is sticking straight up like a... Oh, it always does that. Never mind.
ha, ha.
Did you dream about the fire and the hang guy and that lion thing last night?
Leopard, not lion. Did you get anything on Malia Getty?
Well, I did get her address, but you're a little out of your league here, big fella. The Gettys own 3 local hospitals, just to name a few of their assets. They run in very high circles.
Did you get an address?
I got the address. I suppose this has nothing to do with the fact that Malia Getty is incredibly gorgeous. I should have known you wouldn't go for a rich, ugly socialite.
And that address is...
Hey! Far be it from me to postpone your total humiliation. It's 557 West England. That's the Garden District, Estate City.
That's all I wanted to know. And yes, my dear, Malia Getty is the most dangerous-looking diversion I've ever seen. Ouch!
Oy, men.
Okay, let's look at the newspaper.
Today's newspaper is on the counter.
Yep. Ah, jeez. This game.
Times Picayune, dated June 19, 1993. A front-page article describes the most recent of the voodoo murders. Gabriel scans it but learns nothing new. The article reiterates that the voodoo aspect of the crimes is fake. Gabriel shivers. It looked real enough to him. Elsewhere, there's an article about the history of Jackson Square, called La Plaza d'Armas. Under French rule, it was used for executions, firing squads, hanging, even impalement and breaking on the wheel. Yikes. Of course, these days it's mostly a hangout for tourists, street musicians and local artists. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Chances of a dark star rising on this day. Do not trust your instinct.
I feel a dark star rising, all right.
What the? Okay, so I guess that's a hint for us to go back to Jackson Square. Okay, but let's go first. I think we'll go to the police station and be sneaky with Mosley again.
I've got some things I need to do.
Uh-huh.
I do not see why you would wear that jacket on a hot day in the South. Okay. Police station. Was he fixing that? I'm We need to fuck with this. See if you finish. Okay, perfect. Finish it. Okay. So we need to get. I think we need to ask to go back to see Mosley. Ask our friend Sergeant Frick.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I had to find out who the voice actor is because he's.
I'm
such
here
a
to see
distinct
Detective
voice.
Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
He sounds really familiar. There's some really good voice acting in this game. Okay, so we need to fuck with the thermostat.
Gabriel can't do that from the front lobby.
Oh my god, this game. Excuse me. Have a little drink. Do 80. It's perfect. Okay. Okay, then let's go and see Mosley.
Mosley, my man.
Knight, I had a feeling you'd show up. Whew, it's hot in here. Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink.
Yep. It's on the blink.
Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
Okay, great.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
Just, he probably doesn't know
What
much
can
about
you tell me
St.
about St. John's Eve?
That's coming up, isn't it? We get some occasional weirdness in the quarter, but nothing much. Used to have a lot of strange things happen, though, or so I hear.
What's the status on the Voodoo Murders case?
You're as filled in as me.
Nothing to say about the most recent one, eh? Right.
How about getting me some coffee?
What am I, your slave?
Hey, I'm working my butt off here.
Yeah, fine. Some people are never satisfied.
Okay. God damn it. Alright. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take his badge.
I think I'll just borrow this badge.
Wasn't doing nothing.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
Yep.
Just drink this.
Perfectly normal.
Thanks. Tons. I mean it.
Well, thanks for the coffee, but now I just have to go for notice.
The
memo.
suit doesn't open.
Oh my god. This game. Okay. So we're gonna go back to Jackson Square. Oh.
Hey, come back here. Hey!
Okay, there we go. That has to happen first. The artist loses his picture, and we need the artist to help us. So... we need a hot dog. This is way easier than the mime. Well, once you know what to do, it's way easier than the mime. Get over there. Okay. There's the hot dog. Hello.
Could I get a lucky dog, please?
Makes me kind of hungry.
Not now, I'm busy.
An unambitious person? In the 90s? Ah, amazing.
Alright. Love the 90s joke, yada yada yada. So, turns out this hot dog vendor really likes books, old books, so we own a bookshop conveniently.
I have this gift certificate.
I'm busy.
It's good for $20 at St. George's Books, finest bookstore in New Orleans.
Really? I'll have to check it out sometime.
You could take this gift certificate with you, if you'll give me a lucky dog.
A lucky dog for a $20 gift certificate? Well, sure. Here you go.
Alright, so we have the hot dog. Alright, can you go up here? I want to see where the artist's picture is. It's there, okay. So the artist's picture is there, but we can't reach it because we're too big to go.
There's a drawing caught up against the hedges.
We're too big to go through the bars of the little fence around the hedge area. So we need help with this dancing kid.
Jackson Square is a good place to rest while exploring the French Quarter. And a great place to be entertained.
Sorry, lady. Sorry, I'm being the worst right now. So we need the help with this kid.
You dance pretty well for a kid.
Give me some money, then.
So I don't know why this is lagging so much.
I don't have any.
Don't block the view, mister.
Kid's trying to make some money, come on. Alright. But the kid will accept payment in the form of hot dog, so... Okay, give it to the kid.
Leave the lucky dog left.
You wouldn't like a lucky dog by any chance.
Would I? Thanks, mister. You got any special requests? Let me know.
Great. Got a special request.
You mentioned something about special requests.
Yeah. You got one?
What's the other stuff we can... Okay, besides going to the bars, you can ask, do you do the Nutcracker Suite in D minor? When the Saints go marching in, and you can't think of it. Okay, so that's good.
Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Can I? Just watch me.
Good. There's something in there I can't quite reach. Come on. Can you reach that piece of paper?
Sure thing.
This whole thing makes me want a hot dog.
Here you go. Yep. See ya.
Okay, so we give it to the artist. Oh my god. Sorry guys, these like 90s video game controls are driving me a little bit crazy. Go! Go to the artist! Okay. Okay, great. So, talk to the artist.
How's it going?
Well, life sucks. I just lost 2 days worth of work.
What you working on now?
Just starting another drawing of the cathedral.
Oh, it's beautiful.
This belongs to you, doesn't it?
My drawing. How'd you get it?
Oh, it was a bit of a squeeze, but I hate to see you lose your work. I lost my only copy of a manuscript once.
Well, you saved my butt. Let me know if I can ever do the same for you, huh?
Okay. So, we do need your help.
Do you mind if I watch you?
Be my guest.
Okay, I think I have to give him the, drawings of the, yeah, I gotta give him this.
Say, do you think there's anything you can do with these patterns?
What do you need?
Is there any way you can reconstruct the whole pattern from these partials?
pattern is probably circular, and there's some repetition in the elements. What is this from, anyway?
You'd never believe me.
Okie dokie. Well, there's... I think there's an area missing. If you could get me any more of these...
I'll see what I can do.
And we happen to have one more, so let's give him that.
I have another one of those patterns.
Really? Let's see. Yeah, this is great. I think there's enough overlap now. I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with tomorrow.
Okay.
Great. I appreciate it.
So we'll talk to him tomorrow. I guess the quickest out of the way out of this is the church, so we'll go up there. We're gonna go to the Getty's mansion and embarrass ourselves in front of Malia Getty. So, yeah, get excited for that. Maybe hold on. You know what? I want to do a couple things before we go embarrass ourselves in front of Malia Getty. So, let's go to the Voodoo Museum because we never talked to Father John. He is very important in the story.
Welcome, my friend.
Hello?
I am the proprietor, Dr. John.
Dr. John.
If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Nye, and I'll probably take you up on that.
I have so many questions, Dr. John.
Could I ask you some questions?
That is why I am here.
He has a really cool voice, too.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo? Or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
Tell me about historical voodoo.
Very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and will go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade, but African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies where the French and Spanish ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves. But the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively.
The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importing of slaves from that region.
So, how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves.
Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans.
Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou St. John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Cool.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons and the place, Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
So I know some of you might not like hearing all this stuff, but I think it's really interesting, and I think it's interesting that they bother to put this much background in the game, so I'm going to listen to all of it. So fast forward if you want.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Okay, so that's a really important detail. Let me see if he has any more about historical
Tell me more about historical.
Maybe he just goes on really, really long.
I've given you as much detail as I can, Mr. Knight. Look around the museum if you desire more information.
It's like I don't have all day to tell you about historical voodoo. Okay, so let's see what he says about current voodoo.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or gree-gree. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo, and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in their religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I, personally, am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo. But it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Tell me more about current voodoo.
There are many voodooians in New Orleans. They often do business selling gree-gree, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. Perhaps you would like to meet a voodooan. We refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to a local practitioner, Magentia Moonbeam.
Sure, I'd love to meet her.
She lives on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine. I will call her and tell her you might stop by.
Great, thanks.
Alright. So I'm gonna cut it here, guys. But next episode, we will learn more from this guy and find out about the voodoo murders and see more of the museum. This is where we start getting some of the background that really gets into the meat of the plot and the mystery. So I'll see you again. Thank you for watching. Bye.